Hello and welcome, family, to a special prophetic message for my beloved Kenya. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? The reason I'm even sharing this today is because I really want all my Kenyan brothers and sisters and our global family to stand with me in just defense, in spiritual defense for our nation, because something very, very historic has happened. It's not about the individual candidates, family. This has been an immense spiritual warfare, and many prophets and seers, regardless of which side they were saying, all kept saying that this season was one of a major spiritual warfare where we were literally fighting, family, for the soul of our nation. We were literally fighting for the soul of our nation. And what many people aren't aware of is that when we gained independence, our independence was hijacked. And the quote-unquote founding fathers were actually initiated into the Babylonian brotherhoods. They were given secret knowledge on how to do mind manipulation, how to manipulate the masses. And that's why we had these things like Harambe, which is basically hailing the goddess of war, Ambe. I did so many shows on that in the past. I can definitely get into that in the future if you're interested. It also looked at, our second president created almost this idol worship and created an altar right in the middle of the city. But we were dumbed down with a lower level of Christianity while they were kind of propped up with this secret knowledge, and their allegiance was always to the Mzungus. And they have literally ruled Kenya for the last 50 years. Since Jomo Kenyatta, they've been in power, family. And what we witnessed in the last 10 years is literally a state capture, where the son of the father came, and he even said out of his own mouth, we were losing like 2 billion shillings a day or something like that. Like, it was literally, some will try and argue it was the best presidency, it was the worst presidency. Anyway, it's over. But you can't look at what's happening in Kenya with a physical eye, because there was a stronghold over Kenya. And there are 4 principalities that belong to 4 nations. The Agikoyo is one of them. The Nandi is one of them. The Giriama is one of them. I'm not going to mention the 4th one because I just don't want to. But those were the principalities that literally ruled this nation and had it in this demonic stronghold, where our people never prospered. And then our people were given, these politicians were given this lowest level of magic to be able to, maintain the power, as long as they gave their allegiance to Babylon. And literally now we were fighting between the dynasties and the hustlers. That was what this whole thing was about. But it was deeper than that, because the dynasties had us in like a slave-like situation, like a neo-colonial situation. And what has happened now, family, it was a really deep hoodoo voodoo situation that we were not strong enough to remove ourselves from. We've never been strong enough. No group has been able to oppose them. And these are people who have allegiances to the Masons, to the Roman Catholic Church. They're deep up in the Roman Catholic Church, family. The Queen of England and these are people who, behind the scenes, they've sold our soul literally to the devil. And they wanted to maintain the status quo, and they were arrogant enough to think they could. And now that they've been shut down, best believe that they're getting ready to unleash a chaos spirit. And the only reason I'm even sharing that is because I got an urgent message, if I can put it like that, from someone who is part of the intelligence. And it was like, go home, tell everyone you love to go home, red alert. It's going to be chaos, because the independent electoral whatever here in Kenya is getting ready to announce the deputy president as the president, basically. But it's not the choice of what we love to call here the deep state. It's not the choice even of the Kenyatta legacy, the dynasties, all those dynasties. He's a big threat, and I'm not saying that he is perfect. He has he has his track record. Let me just put it like that. You can make what you want of it. I'm not really here to debate each candidate. I'm just telling you what's happening, because these guys have been brought in by the spiritual power of the evangelicals family. That's what I wanted to tell you. Both of their wives, both the wife of the incoming president and the incoming deputy president, are high-level evangelicals, serious prayer warriors. Now, who knows what is at the root of the evangelicals? I'm not going to get into that, but it's the wave of the evangelicals, the spiritual prayers, the fasting, all those things they've been declaring into the spirit that he was going to be the one that got it, all the prophesying and everything that they did. They're the ones that have been able to bring down this caliphate in Kenya, to bring down this wicked empire. There was no other community that was strong enough. Right now, family, we are in the season where the leadership of this nation is supposed to go back to the Mau Mau, the original ones. But they were being fought by their own. There were so many secret meetings held by the former president's mother and all these Mau Mau people, and a lot of very mysterious things happening. But you know what? The evangelicals are the ones who take it. And they have their own allegiances. They have their own system. But family, that means that revival is here. Revival is coming, but we're not out of the woods yet, because these guys are getting ready to unleash a chaos spirit over this nation. So I want each and every one of you, please, family, whoever you pray to, when you see this video, declare it with your mouth that the chaos spirit that they're trying to send into our nation is shut down. Whether you'll pray to whoever you pray to, family, whether you'll declare it as a mantra, if you could even get your children to declare that there will be peace in Kenya, because they now want to disrupt. The reason they didn't want the incoming president is because he was a disruptor. And with everything, with the world kind of going through this disruption, they couldn't have one of their major anchors, which is Kenya in Africa, one of their major spiritual anchors, be in a disruptive state. They wanted it to be stable with their status quo. But now that's not what's going to happen. And it's not to say that, that it's going to be an easy ride and these guys are going to take us to the promised land and open the revival. No, family. But a spell over this nation has been broken that was put in from independence, because the Mzungu he left through the front door and came through the side door that Jomo opened for him. And those are the facts. And regardless of who you support now, Kenya is bigger than your political interests, your feelings, your emotions. And what we want is, let there be no chaos spirit unleashed. Let no minds of our youth be penetrated by these demonic entities and used to go out into the streets and destroy people's property. Whatever must happen, let it happen peacefully. And we have to maintain that vibration, or at least fight it. Because they're planning that if this has been disrupted, then let's disrupt them totally. I was even told there was a certain, anyway, I don't even know if I should get that. There's a certain international government that had even told the incoming that, sorry, it's not you this time. We can't give it to you the first time. You're going to have to step aside. But he has stood up. And the thing is, because, and there's so many dynamics I could talk about this election. And it's not about getting emotional. It's just looking at the facts. So few people voted, which means that Kenya is rife for a revolution as well. And so from here on out, those evangelicals are going to have to be on their knees fasting daily. And the incoming president is really going to have to turn over a new leaf, because everybody is waiting for him to mess up. But what if he's actually used as a transformative force? There was such a powerful spiritual propaganda. I was meeting people in Nyanyuki who were telling me, the family has decided we're giving this one to Raila so they can experience. You know what I mean? It was just such a deep mental psychosis. And I'm not ignoring people's histories. But what I'm saying is, family, something very deep has happened. But now the evangelicals are in control, whatever that may mean. And it's also very easy for them to try and bring, the incoming president down either narratively or with many things. I think you guys saw him a bit beefed up with that bulletproof vest, Anyway, family, stand with me as we hold back that chaos spirit. It shall not penetrate this nation. Because they want us, they are so angry. You guys need to understand the state of these narcissistic wizards and witches. At this point, they're even going psycho. They're literally would be willing to burn our nation to the ground, and that ain't gonna happen. And I know there's some hidden generals out there. So this isn't for everybody, but it's for you. I honor you, elders. I honor you so much, and I ask that you stand with me to ensure that the chaos spirit does not overtake our nation. We are in a new dawn and a new season. The baton has been passed. The rulership, the kingship has been passed. From the Catholics, the Masonic brotherhoods and all that, to the evangelicals. That's all I keep hearing prophetically. The evangelicals have it now. What does that mean? Well, it's definitely something we'll look into as we move into the future. But for now, family, stand with us so that this nation doesn't go down just because of people's choices. Tuko pamoja.